This Saucy Santana and Jerry the Mouse situation is getting completely out of hand, and I want to talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
So what's going on, you all? After seeing Jerry the Mouse, aka DJ Akademiks, stream and him almost about to cry, giving a response to Saucy Santana, I have so many thoughts. So let's go back. So Saucy Santana jumped to the defense of the City Girls and really basically Young Miami after, you know, DJ Akademiks, aka the Jerry the Mouse, that still takes me out, had some criticism about the City Girls and where they're going next. He mentioned their interview was terrible, and he just said that, you know, their trajectory is like gone. Like nobody is interested in them anymore. And he's been criticizing the City Girls for a minute. He's been very heavy on Young Miami, to even his comments about Young Miami when her vehicle was shot up. Like he was laughing and just being ignorant. And he has a history of doing this when it comes to black women, and the energy that he has is not always the same for men. Like he'll say something, he'll offer like commentary, but it's never as harsh as it is for the women. So as somebody who does something similar to what DJ Akademiks does, I wouldn't say in the same lane, but you know, sometimes offers criticism on the, you know, the culture and stuff. I think it is very, very important for us, people who provide criticisms and have a big platform talking about, you know, albums and music and whatever, we need to be very, especially men, we need to be very careful, not even careful, we need to be more educated and more understanding of the words that we use when we describe and talk about things. And his criticism isn't even on just the music. He could have just said, hey, you know, this interview wasn't the best interview. You can tell by the sales that people might not have an interest in the City Girls as much as they did a couple years ago. So let's talk about, you know, what's next for them. There's a way to talk about the City Girls and their lackluster album sales or whatever and them splitting. I did a video talking about it too. And, you know, we can get into the technical stuff where, you know, they even agreed that the rollout wasn't giving. The rollout wasn't the best. Now, I've heard mixed reactions to the album. I've not listened to it like that. But, you know, I've not heard it was completely trash from a lot of people. People just said, hey, it's not mine. It's not really giving. And the rollout is not helping that. There's a way to have a conversation. But there's a specific way when DJ Akademiks does any type of, you know, criticism on women. It's very nasty. And he is on the same wave of those men who are very disrespectful and disgusting to women, and all of his followers and stuff eat it up. Like we see a lot of, you know, men get in front of these microphones in their small desk or chair, drink their Red Bull, just sit there and just criticize women like all day. Like they are very harsh on that. Even when it comes to like the dating stuff, the content that's being made around dragging like women, specifically black women, is taking off, and these men, these incels, are building platforms off of it. So DJ Akademiks wants to consider himself a culture critic, but with a heavy dose of misogynoir. The way he called them a one-trick pony is interesting because there are a lot of men who follow that same thing, but when women do it, you know, talk about sex, like there's this thing where men are very upset at black female rappers talking and rapping like they do. They are not interested at all, and that's why I be living for it. I be living for the music that the black female rap girls be dropping because I like it. Like, girl, finally somebody is saying these things. Not that they are the first, because, you know, their greats before them were doing it as well, but we have so many of them are doing it, and it's a little bit more mainstream than it was early on, thanks to some of the greats. You all know who they are. But the way DJ Akademiks chooses to critique them is from a very misogynist lens. It is very anti-black. It is very, I don't like women. And we can all smell it. Now, I want to talk about Saucy Santana and his response, because I have some criticism on that too. So Saucy Santana, did what, a lot of friends do, like, girl, you're not gonna like try my friend, da da da. So he went and he did a video addressing DJ Akademiks and told him to pull up and, made some interesting comments, some stuff that I can't say on here or can't even play the video. But the thing that gets me about Saucy Santana's response is that I'm wondering, would the City Girls and Young Miami do the same for him? And I understand that these are your friends. Like, I get that they are your friends and you care about them and all that. But Saucy Santana, be honest, you are looking like the send out a little bit. I think there's a way to have a conversation about DJ Akademiks and how he shows up and how he, criticizes black women, black female rappers. He's even into it with Glorilla, just a couple of days ago. But the way that Saucy Santana did it, it was this very performative gayness. I don't know if that's the right word to use. The way I read Saucy Santana's video is that I know I'm less than, and I don't even do that type of stuff. And him trying to explain what's the F word, and it was so riddled in femphobia and internalized homophobia. Like the reason why the F slur exists, the reason why is because the worst thing you can be is a man that sleeps with other men. You are a man. You are at the top of the food chain. You are, you benefit from patriarchy. So for you to be sleeping with another man, that's the low. And for you to be sleeping with another man while also being feminine. How dare you be a man and out here being feminine and all that other stuff, like with all this power and all this pee out here? How dare you do that when the world is our oyster? Like, we can take anything. That's what I got from it. And the reason why I say and ask, would the City Girls do the same thing for Saucy Santana, is because I haven't seen it. When that alleged tape made its way on the internet, which wasn't Saucy Santana bumped heads with the City Girls because they were laughing at it and they thought it was a joke. They didn't get online and, say, hey, like, this ain't right, we shouldn't be doing it. Saucy Santana, and this is a thing, and I hate to say that, and I don't say that the City Girls are bad people, but I noticed this thing when it comes to relationships with gay men and like cis women. It is this very specific way that a gay person has to perform to be the token person, token gay queen for the black woman, or the woman for that matter, because this is not something that's specific to black women. White women do it as well. And Saucy Santana sometimes performs even more with it. There's been times when Saucy Santana has been disrespected by other male rappers, and I've not saw the City Girls jump to his defense. And I don't really expect them to do that, because these are women going against like a heterosexual cishet man. Like, that can create all types of violence. But also, Saucy Santana responding to this creates violence for himself. Violence that he's not even in. So if we're going to do that, are you going to be supported in the same way? And I don't think that the City Girls support Santana in the ways that he supports them. I don't think that the relationship goes back and forth. I think only one person benefits from it. I remember I did a video a while back, I think it's on YouTube, might be on Patreon, where I discussed that Saucy Santana basically was one of the things that saved the City Girls, because when JT was in jail and when Young Miami was out here, trying to make it, her live streams and Instagram lives with Saucy Santana in the beginning were very entertaining. And even then it was played like, the film Gay, I'm the girl, like, I'm gonna remind you over and over, like, perform type of situation. A lot of people gobble that content up. I'm not saying that Saucy Santana is, responsible for this, because it's a trope that a lot of us unfortunately fall into. I know I've fallen into it a couple of times throughout my year as a young queer person, young black and gay. But I refuse to play that. I don't. Like some of the relationships and friendships that I had, like early 2010, I don't have anymore. I've had to check friends on transphobia, homophobia a couple of times, and then when they don't, change or like get their lives together or get like a better understanding and respect, I dip out. Like I've shared a couple of times, I've been friends with some women who have, allowed a man to be violently homophobic who they were in a relationship with around me. Like they, were okay with that. I'm not saying that this is all black women. I'm not saying that, because there are some black women who are out here just like, no, you gonna respect my friend, period. And there are some women, unfortunately, who laugh at stuff like this. I'll go back. I'll give you a recent example. Terry Jo was doing a live with the City Girls, and there was some jokes being made, and Terry Jo responded and said, when is Lil Uzi coming out the closet? And Young Miami didn't like that, and she said, like, girl, he'll beat the fuck out of you. Like, she said that the way she said that, it kind of left me like, I don't know, like, what's the purpose? Like, I don't know, like, what, like, she was reminded, like, that's a man, you don't play with straight men like that. And it wasn't in a way of saying, like, girl, be careful. It was just like, girl, know your place. Know your place. Now, I know some folks gonna be upset watching this. I don't really care, to be honest, because as a gay black man who has been living this life for 36 years, I've seen it. I have seen oftentimes how women unfortunately fall into that and treating the gay person as the purse. I'm not interested in playing the purse, because I am not your token homosexual. I'm not doing that. I remember early this summer where me and my friends went to a pool at his apartment in Buckhead, and there were some women, they were tipsy, they was enjoying themselves, some black women, and we were sitting by the pool just having a conversation. And this one particular black woman, she was like, yes, girl, honey, like she was just talking to us like she knew us. Like, and it was so weird to watch and be a part of, because I was like, I wasn't sure to tell her, like, girl, what the hell you doing? Or play it to not make it seem like I was being an ass, but I was very uncomfortable, and my friend was too. My friend was very uncomfortable, and this happens because there's this idea like, you are not a person, you are entertainment for me. You don't have your own thing. I don't even care about you talking to your friends. I care about you, yes, queening for me in this moment. And Saucy Santana in this moment is giving a version of yes, queen. Like, yes, defend your friend. You have every right to defend your friend and say, hey, this is not cool, da da da. But is that energy being reciprocated to when you are dealing with stuff? And I have not seen that. I don't think it was necessary to say some of the stuff that Saucy Santana was saying. It was just like, okay, girl, like, yes, I get Saucy Santana defending his friend. I get it. But I just have not seen a significant amount of support for Saucy Santana that was not beneficial for the City Girls. I just not. And I love both of them, to be honest. Y'all know I'm a big fan of JT, period. I like Carisha, even defended her in videos talking about she deserves these awards that she's getting. Like her show, like even in an interview with the Breakfast Club, she said like she worked hard and she doesn't have to put out an episode every week. And I respect it. Like, girl, the stuff that's anticipated, the girls want it. And we do, because we be consuming it. But the reason why they didn't want to give it to her because she's a black woman. Like, y'all out here gossiping every week, and I'm out here doing real stuff that y'all are, y'all feel like it's less than, but y'all sit here and gossip with me and drunk and high on each and every episode of y'all podcast, and y'all expect this to be like good media, like this is a good interview. Child, please, y'all sitting on the couch gossiping, and y'all think because y'all look like y'all in a trap house that this is this ain't that, but y'all gossiping. Y'all ain't no different than sitting on the couch with Wendy Williams and Wendy Williams drinking tea and gossiping. Y'all do the same thing. Like y'all do this, all of this is the same thing. But yeah, I also want to go back and talk about how DJ Akademiks, was very tearful. I think in that live stream that he was very uncomfortable. I've never seen somebody like struggle to say the F slur. Like he's like, I don't want to get counseled. I don't want to get counseled. I don't want to get counseled. And you know what? I think that he realizes that you can disrespect black women, period. You can disrespect black women down. Like he has done that. He said some very disgusting stuff. He's also even been on the live discussing inappropriate relationships with young women. But he can do all of that. But to say the F slur, it's not just something that's specific to black gays. It's specific to gays, period. And he knows that if enough of them white folks get word of this, and he can potentially lose some stuff. Like, because the people who are in positions of power will respond to that faster than they will him disrespecting a black woman. Like, I think that he was very hurt because that is the lowest of low to call me that. And I think that DJ Akademiks, is struggling with insecurities. He is a fat, darker skinned man. And I know that he struggles with insecurities because I am a fat, dark skinned man as well. And I have we all have insecurities, but who gets treated the worst because of those insecurities? Someone who is, going to the gym because they have insecurities about, how bigger they need to be or like more toned. They're not being discriminated by that. Fat folks are being discriminated like systematically. So him being that and him being seen as weak really bothers him. Like it really bothers him. Like I am not gay. Like because there's nothing that he can do to shake that away. But he's not doing nothing no different than the heterosexual men who are very disrespectful to black women all the time. There's a reason why it was easy to call DJ Akademiks the F slur or him gay or whatever, or Backty boy or whatever. There's a reason why it sticks on him more than it will on someone like a Kevin Samuels, because Kevin Samuels was doing even more disgusting content around black women. And even Kevin Samuels was more feminine than a DJ Akademiks was. But it is because DJ Akademiks is seen as undesirable. So it's easy to throw like, oh, you're undesirable, because we have to remember being gay is also undesirable. Like, yes, it's a little bit better, but there was something that was real undesirable. Specifically, if we talk about the 90s AIDS epidemic, like that was the lowest of low. I don't want to be around any of y'all. So we have to understand our history. We have to understand that there's a reason why these folks move in a specific type of way. And DJ Akademiks is a disgusting person. Like I've seen plenty of videos of him being very disgusting to the city girls. Like even looking and doing research, it's like, oh my God, time and time again, Young Miami has had to come out and defend herself and say something to this person who keeps like hitting. There's no need to do that. And I don't blame Young Miami for going off. I don't blame her for like going off and dragging, cause she like to have someone laugh at, my life being almost taken like that. Like, Young Miami was like terrified, I'm sure, for her vehicle to be shot up. Like, and someone is making jokes about it and laughing about it. Yes, there's a way to talk about, hey, Young Miami, experienced this, but to laugh and kind of play about it, that ain't no joking matter. That's not no joking matter. Especially I think she was pregnant around the time. It's like, girl, yes, like these people are human at the end of the day. And, saying stuff like, oh, girl, you this and that does get to them. And, a lot of them show restraint, but something like that, laughing at them potentially passing away, like, girl, that's not cool. And DJ Akademiks would not do the same if it was a man. He would not do the same. We've seen that. He's not going to move in the same way. He's not. But, he's not the only one. He's not the only one. Because at the end of the day, a lot of men are scared of men. Go back to the interview with Funny Marco, where he was trying to be professional, but he also was scared because if he had did something was disrespectful, he could have potentially been harmed. So even men recognize that there is toxic masculinity, but we just don't talk about it. So those are my thoughts. Y'all tell me what y'all thought in the comments, child, because this whole situation has been a mess, and I just wanted to just completely just stop. It's just unnecessary, to be honest, and I don't think that Saucy Santana's response has done anything. It's really just continued the conversation, to be honest. But we are ultimately here because DJ Akademiks doesn't know how to respect black women, and that's the point.